Hey again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of what I am currently calling Mortality. I don't really know if that name will stick, but I guess if I'm using it for the second episode, that's pretty good, right? Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about 3 different things you can do with your body after you pass away, specifically within the United States. I kind of made my headdress match for the occasion. Is it cute? It's little hands. As is tradition, I've got both our cups of tea, so this one's mine and here's yours. I got you the big one this time, but I thought the cup was cute. Okay, so I actually heard from my first few videos that I posted on here, and I heard it myself whenever I was editing as well, that the audio was unclear and the way I spoke wasn't very clear, and it was hard for people to understand. And so I actually got a microphone. I don't know if you can see it right here. It looks like this little sausage in the corner of the screen, but I got a microphone and I'm going to try my hardest to speak very clearly, and I'm going to try and channel my sophomore year of high school speech class. I'm going to do my best for you guys. So I'm going to start this video talking about the CEOLP, or the Crestone End of Life Project. The Crestone End of Life Project is set up in Crestone, Colorado, and they operate open air pyre cremations. You know, in America, the typical forms of burial are a normal cremation with an urn, or you get buried in ground. But the CEOLP is special because they do an open air pyre cremation on a wooden pyre outdoors. The CEOLP is special because they are the only open air cremation site in America. They're the only ones that have the license, I guess you would say, to do something like this. The way open air pyre cremation works is that the body is enshrouded in cloth and put on top of this wooden pyre that they build, and then the pyre itself is kind of within these short stone walls. I don't really want to call it an oven because it's not like an enclosed space, but the stone walls tend to keep a little bit of heat in because it needs to be about 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit over a period of hours to successfully cremate a body. It takes a lot of fire. After the body is successfully cremated, it's just ash and it can be collected and given to the next of kin. So Crestone, Colorado is a very special town. They have Hindu, Buddhist, Tibetan temples, all kinds of religions in this small town in Colorado. So the Crestone End of Life Project is only available to people who actually live in the community because the CEOLP is community operated and run. So, you know, I said that this was the only public cremation pyre that's outdoor in America, but there's actually a private one. It's in Colorado at the Shambhala Mountain Retreat. It seems to be its own religious community, and I have honestly not done much research into it, but it sounds kind of new age religion-y, so I would like to take a peek into that. I want to see what that's about. That one is not open to the public though. That one is their own, this religious community's pyre. They're the only ones that use it. So I guess technically, yes, the CEOLP is the only public open air cremation pyre in America. So this one's actually really fascinating. This one was in the news recently. You might have seen it maybe on social media. It's called Recompose. Recompose is the first human composting funeral home out of Seattle, Washington. It took more than 10 years to get this facility open with all the proper permits and paperwork and red tape and what have you, and I think it's going to be an amazing first step into some more amazing things we can do with our bodies after we pass. So the Recompose facility, whenever you pass, they'll take your body and put you in what they call a cradle. And this cradle will be filled with hay, wood chips, straw, other natural materials, and you'll be taken basically in this tray, and they'll put you in a pod that's kind of in a wall, so you're separate from all the other decomposing bodies, and your body will be in there for about 30 days while it decomposes naturally. After the 30 days, they remove your body and they kind of let the dirt that you became cure. They call it curing. I don't really know how composting works, to be completely honest. I've never done it, but I'm assuming it has something to do with aerating and letting it oxidize. After you become what is essentially dirt and compost, your loved ones can take you home, put you in a garden, or do whatever you wanted them to do with you after you passed away. I think it's a really fun way for you to kind of become one with nature after you pass, and I think that idea is very appealing to a lot of people. So this next one is actually, I think, amongst the funeral industry and other realms of legal body disposal discussion, I think it's a little controversial. It's called aquamation. Aquamation is only available in 15 states, and it's advertised as an eco-friendly way to dispose of a body. Compared to other things like cremation, where it releases a lot of, smoke into the air, and then whenever you have an in-ground burial, you're embalmed, and sometimes those chemicals can be toxic, not just for the embalmer, but also kind of get into the groundwater. So aquamation is basically exactly what it sounds like. You essentially get liquefied. Your body is essentially put into a container with potassium hydroxide and water, and then it is pressurized and heated. After a while, your body becomes a kind of like a jelly, like a brown liquid, and your bones become soft. They take this brown liquid and they'll either just dispose of it in the sewer system, but some newer aquamation facilities have actually started to put it in gardens. And the bones are actually removed and put into a cremulator. A cremulator sounds really cool, but it's just the little bone jiggler that makes your bone fragments become dust so that it can be given to next of kin. I think people after they pass know that their body, it's not going to be used for anything important necessarily. It's just going to be lying there. And I think a lot of people realize that nowadays. And I believe that everyone wants to have more options of what they can do with their bodies that aren't just a basic cremation or having your body interred. Whenever someone nearest to you dies, like if you're the next of kin of someone who has passed away, you actually have certain rights to keep the body for a certain amount of time. You could have in-home viewings of the body before relinquishing it to a funeral home for burial. Funeral homes will try and sell you the idea that you need to embalm the body before it's buried because it's like some law. There are no laws telling you that you need to have a body be embalmed. Usually funeral homes will tell you these things because they assume you don't know any better, and they're just trying to get more money out of you. There's also the concept of a green burial that a lot of funeral homes are offering nowadays, although I don't think it's a very common thing still. I think you have to kind of search out facilities that will do this for you, but a green burial is just where they don't embalm you and they wrap you in linen or cotton and then they bury your body naturally and just let it decompose as it was intended without any chemicals and no coffin or casket. Something else I'd like to mention is the existence of body farms. A body farm is a facility. I know we have one here in Texas. I think there might be one in like Oregon or Washington somewhere. And at these body farms, you can donate your body and they'll essentially leave it to decompose in different areas because it helps with forensics and the study of human decomposition. They do things like they'll leave it uncovered in like a wooded area, so there's like branches and things covering the body, but then in another area they'll have like a body covered with a blanket in an open sunny area, and they just do it to see how bodies decompose in different areas. Have you guys heard of any other things that might be coming down the pipeline for people in America to do with their bodies? I feel like so many doors are being opened lately with these discussions on death and what to do after death. So I know this video was extremely short, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyways. You guys know the drill. Hit that like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next week. We're going to be talking about another cult again. That's it for now. Okay, guys? Bye! Potassium hydroxide. Potassium hydroxide. I got a basic mint tea for today. I'm just not feeling too complicated. It's just one of those days.